Many thanks for staying here. Let's start in the mining industry because the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners is demanding an immediate lifting of the ban on mining as they prepare to roll out what they call the All Die Be Die demonstration. Deputy Executive Secretary of the association, Frank Osei, told a press conference in Kumasi that the ban has cost members their means of livelihood. He says government should heed their plea or expect the protest next week.
National executives, we've called all miners in this country, 8 regions. We are ready, we are on standby. If in 3 days, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, with all due respect, does not clear the airwaves, draw a distinction between illegal activities and small-scale miners, and we're still in the house, then we want to tell the government that we are ready to pay monitoring fees and their contribution to reclamation. This will create employment for people to monitor us that we're doing our job properly. Again, if this money is properly managed, they can get seedlings for farmers who are ready to go back to their lands and plant. We are ready to cooperate. Other than that, Nana will hit the street. Ubekuya preko. Na aya ekomba kumedia ene be fi say me wu preko aya.
Nana obama ya kwaya me kwa na nya adwuma.
Well, let's go live now to Kumasi. My colleague Mohammed Nuruddin joins us on the phone because the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, John Peter Amewu, is in the region and he's expected to inspect some mining sites there as well. All right, so I hear that the Lands Minister is actually talking to some pressmen there in the region. We can go there live. But we can still reach Mohammed Nuruddin on the line. Hello, Mohammed.
Hello, Benny.
Yes, good morning to you. Where has the minister visited, and can you just tell us his itinerary for the day? Well, we just lost him on the line. Apologies for that. We'll try and reach him and give you some updates on the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources visit to the Ashanti region. We hear that he will be meeting the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei Tutu, and so we'll go there as soon as we are able to restore the lines. But still in the Ashanti region, residents at Timyebu in the Ejisu Drabbing municipality are being denied potable water due to the activities of illegal miners there. The only source of drinking water, the Banko stream, has been polluted from mining activities, whilst the only borehole is faulty. Prince Apia has more in this report. You're watching JoyNews Desk with me, Benis Abubedi. We'll be crossing over to Kumasi shortly. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying here on JoyNews Desk. Earlier, we brought you a story about small-scale miners demanding a suspension on the ban on Galamsey as they threaten demonstrations dubbed All Die Be Die. Now, I told you as well that the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, John Peter Amewu, is in the Ashanti region still on the fight against Galamsey. He's expected to visit some mining communities, and when we're able to establish a good line, we'll reach our correspondent, Mohammed Nuruddin to give us some updates as well as tell us what the minister is expected to do apart from meeting the Asante. Away from that, to our special Friday feature, do you remember those days in your neighborhood when you engaged the services of a roaming seamstress, locally known as Oyadieye, to patch and mend those torn clothes for you to put on? What about the old lady and old man who came over to apply the local black dye called yomo to your hair to conceal those undesirable strands of gray hair you didn't want the public to see? Or what of those that came to mend your broken plastic bowls, bucket and basins? Well, today on JoyNews desk, JoyNews' Forgive America recount some of those trades which were at the time the main source of livelihood for some families and individuals. He establishes in this feature that memory and also brings us what some of those plying in the trade are, contended with now.
It is difficult to know the true value of a moment in time until it becomes a memory. If you were born between the early 70s and the late 90s, you will recall that few trades such as mending of broken rubber products, sharpening of knives, door-to-door hair cutting, dyeing of hair commonly called yombo, and door-to-door sewing were in vogue. The operators of these trades were usually older men or women with years of undaunted experience, usually drew attention by making interesting sounds using their equipment. You will be taken on a voyage down memory lane to uncover how some of these trades have stood the test of time, while others have died off. Mama Lydia is a seamstress who lives at New Russia, a suburb of Dansuman. She has been in the trade for the past 20 years.
Na mebewo ye nti apata ne free me nsa nti ma na afi me ye wo fie na mehwe a efie ye no obu ho obehye wo yade ne mame obeye na so oba beje na odu sika ma no na yasem nso ma ye oba tan nti na mehia sika eti mehwe ye no na obi ma amadwen me mame me susu ho kire me mame na mame ma amadwen se ohwe na se omu waste time dia fana so a no kura nyame anim se betam ya me discipline na mu a wo ba bia na me wo ho no sika be ya 1 week na me nya bi no me di be 2 hours nya se sika no
ya de adwuma na ye eboa yen isan say bibi kitu ebitia nya fe na de be ko shop wo friend no be fia ba be yama eni sister ni share CCS ni na mbusa asa de no mpama de o shop o say nkrofo pama nkrofo meje o ya de ye ndi o de kwa obenya ni obedi o de be fie nti eboa me so eboa me pa eboa me isan say bibi kitu ebitia o friend be fia o ba be yama
As to whether the trade has fallen or is still in vogue, it is for the Adiyeye to confirm.
Oh, those days ne momu in fact nenye. And I na a dependent area wo. Area bi wo ho a wo na wo ya eboa. Area bi wo ho nso a enye. So the me say me area me wono eye eboa me do sebeta fracture me nto asase wo mu de na so no na me de hwe me ma school ni ade school me ma mienu omukọ private school pani ko SS keto anso ko private school adwuma ya na me de hwe
It can be contended that since Adieye is a mobile business, it would have been more lucrative than the people who own the shops. Things evolve every time, but how to use it to benefit yourself and society is key.
Interesting feature there by my colleague Forgive America. Now, let's go back to Kumasi in the Ashanti region. My colleague Mohammed Nuruddin joins us on the line with the latest on the visit of the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources to the region. Hello, Mohammed.
Hello, Benny.
Yeah, sure. We hear that the Lands Minister is expected to meet the Asantehene as well as visit some mining communities in the region. What can you tell us on the progress of his visit so far?
Well, Benny, we are currently at the Maishia Palace where the minister would visit the Asantehene, to inform him of what they are about to do today. And after here, we'll be going back to Georgia Hotel, where the minister will meet political party youth and activists. We have not been briefed what exactly he will be discussing with them. And afterwards, we will also meet with the Small-Scale Miners Association and discuss about yesterday's issue. I had an interview with Melia, and he was saying that he would actually meet with them and tell them exactly why they are embarking on that exercise. He believes that they don't have enough information as to why they are embarking on that exercise. And from there, we will now move to Ashima Kwauma, where the minister will also visit a Galante site to look at the activities of Galante in that particular area. So today, these are the only places we will visit. Tomorrow, the journey will continue tomorrow.
So Nuruddin, has he had his meeting with the Asantehene already?
Not yet. We just alighted from the bus and we are about entering the palace, and so he hasn't met with him yet. In the next few minutes, I'm sure he will be in with the second.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Mohammed Nuruddin, for that. But like he mentioned, he had an interview with the Lands Minister.
Maybe is going to chart the way forward. An illegal miner, it's not somebody who is not having license, not at all. You may have a license given to you, an authorization to mine, but if you are mining close to the river bodies, if you are mining in the river bodies, if you are mining in the forest, if you are mining without reclamation, if you are mining with application of unauthorized chemicals, cyanides, and all those things, collectively is described as an illicit miner. And so an illicit miner is not somebody who haven't got license. That is not the galamsey. That is not how we describe it from our perspective. And so the directive for 6-month ban on small-scale mining activity cut across those who have the license and those who do not have it.
So what exactly are you going to tell them today?
Well, it's the same thing that we've been discussing over and over again, and this is what we're going to discuss again. We are charting a course, and maybe today we'll outlay some of those that we're going to do in future. As a government, we are not against mining. We are not anti-mining. We are a government that is open up to small-scale mining. We are a government that wants to sanitize the industry. We are a government that believes that the resources of this country belongs to Ghanaians and therefore must be taken by Ghanaians.
Well, that's the response of the Lands Minister to some Members of the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners who are demanding an immediate lifting of the ban on mining, and they said if government doesn't heed their call, they will protest sometime next week. Let's stay in the Ashanti region. Residents at Timiebu in the Joso-Drabing municipality are being denied potable drinking water due to the activities of illegal miners. The only source of drinking water, the Banku stream, has been polluted from mining activities, while the only borehole is faulty. Prince Apia has more in this report.
The Sustainable Development Goal 6 prescribes safe and affordable water supply for all by 2030. Pollution of the Banku stream, however, makes it difficult for this to happen at Timiebu and other communities. The once clean water from the stream has now turned brown and clayey to compound the suffering of the already deprived residents. Children have had to travel long distances to access small amounts of clean water for domestic use. The source of their plight is a small town of Asisiriwa in the Obosomche district where galamsey is rife. Economic activities, especially farming, are under threat as people lose their sources of livelihoods.
This is our big river or stream. Due to galamsey, they have destroyed all our waters over here, so we can't get water to drink and so to bath. And the borehole, the main borehole we're using this place to, is also spoiled because due to that galamsey, when we are using, we get different kind of diseases, and then some of the things are affecting us. So they should find ways and means to retreat this water for us. This village too don't have money, so a little money we get, we use for buying pure water to drink, and sometimes we use even water, pure water to drink, to bath. So it costs a lot. So they should try and help us to get water.
57-year-old Mohammed Hashmin is a farmer who fears his occupation is no longer secured. A food shortage looms as well.
River, if you look at this Banku, because of the galamsey they are operating at Asisiriwa, you look the color of the river, it's not good. So I will tell my brothers and my sisters that nobody should engage on galamsey by this time, because it's wasting our land, wasting our time, and at the same time polluting our streams and rivers. Sometimes to come, we will never get stream or water even to drink.
At a recent stakeholder meeting in Kumasi, the Community Water and Sanitation Agency reviewed structural policy reforms on water. Walanyo Kwejo Siabi is Chief Executive Officer.
Almost every region in Ghana has challenges with water quality. And because we use substantially groundwater sources, we are actually having problem with dealing with it, especially because the communities are expected to be in charge. We have problems with iron and manganese. We have fluoride. Iron and manganese virtually is in every region of Ghana. But in Ashanti, we have almost 33% of that. And so what it means is that virtually 33% of all the systems that are provided have problems with iron and manganese. And so they must be treated. Yes, we're having a new phenomenon where arsenic is on the increase. And arsenic has very serious health challenges. The scientists have related it to cancer and some other very serious health problems.
For JoyNews, Prince Apia reporting.
Well, the Agogo police in the Ashanti region have arrested a nomadic herdsman for raping a woman on her farm. 30-year-old Abubakar Aliu allegedly chased a defenseless woman with a machete, overpowered and forcibly had sex with her near Nsunyameye. He fled after committing the alleged crime and left the 19-year-old victim to her fate in the bush. Oheming Teria filed this report from Agogo in the Ashanti region.
Clashes between Fulani herdsmen and natives and other residents in the Agogo area over the years have turned bloody and left in their trail a lot of casualties. Natives accuse the Normas and their Morudian cattle of destroying farms as well as commit murder, rape, and other crimes that leave locals devastated. Many rape victims hardly report their ordeal due to stigmatization and for fear of collapsing their relationships.
In the previous days, when we report a case about rape, people, or let me say, Ghanaians were not taking it serious. They were saying we should bring evidence. And here I speak to you, it has been confirmed. And now the whole country has heard everything, and the lady herself has confirmed everything. So it means it's true. They've been raping them. You see, but most of the times, some of them are always afraid. When it happens like that, they are afraid to come out boldly to expose themselves that they were raped by Fulani people, especially those who are married.
The latest victim is, however, one of the few to have courage to report to police by first informing the assembly member for the area, Peter Abaji. She had arrived in the area from the northern region less than a month ago when she suffered the abuse.
The girl is feeling better. The condition is now better. It's now better, but just that the way her spirit is down. That is how I see her. She was just crying here and there and feeling bitter for what happened. She was crying the whole of the day, and even eating of food was very, very difficult for her. She didn't, if you give her food, he said she can't take it, and a lot of things, because he got married about a year ago. So she was thinking about how the husband will feel if he get to hear the information.
Information available to JoyNews suggests the young woman was sowing maize on the field when the mask-wearing Fulani man attacked them. Her sister-in-law, who was with her, managed to escape. The victim has since been treated and discharged at the Agogo Presby Hospital. Police visited the scene on Thursday to retrieve the woman's tattered underwear and broken beads as investigation begins. She demands justice, speaking through an interpreter.
I tried to free myself from his grips. The Fulani man strangled me until I became weak. I grew weaker and weaker as he sexually assaulted me. After the act, he abandoned me and left. I crawled to the roadside until some people came to my rescue. I want him imprisoned.
Agogo District Commander ASP Samuel Azugu says police have invited witnesses to assist establish the facts of the case. From Agogo in the Ashanti region, Ohiminteria reporting for JoyNews.
Away from the Ashanti region, Medical Director of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital has described a sack letter from the Health Minister, Dr. Kweku Adjumamenu, relieving him of his post as illegal. Dr. Thomas Anaba has been fighting to stay on since he received a letter terminating his contract. But whilst all this is going on, JoyNews finds out what exactly the medical director has been able to achieve in the 1.5 years he's worked at the hospital.
My legacies, several. I have developed a strategic plan for the hospital within 1 year.
Are you sure there was none prior to your contract?
There was none. They were going to move the hospital without a strategic plan. I've developed a training.
You mean for the new facility?
Because I was appointed to transition the hospital into the new facility.
Okay, so there was a strategic plan for the Rich Hospital.
There wasn't.
Since the inception of Rich Hospital?
There has never been a strategic plan.
Okay, yours was for how many years?
I developed a 5-year short-term strategic plan.
Okay.
And I also developed clinical protocols. Clinical protocols is to guide every doctor what to do for every particular disease. You don't deviate from that. Not that I know this is how I do it. No, you do what is supposed to be done. I've also developed administrative protocols for this hospital, so that if you are entitled for something, you get it. If there's a problem, we need a committee to be formed. The committee is already there and the designations are there. If you want a leave, there's a way of going for leave. We've devolved that one too for the hospital. I've achieved by devolving what we call a blood servicing unit in the hospital, that we process our own blood, and we have relieve ourselves from the National Blood Bank Service for erratic and expensive blood supply to the hospital. And as I tell you, in 2016, no single patient died in this hospital as a result of lack of blood.
Not even from the maternal unit?
Yes, the maternal unit, 6 of them died, and the 6 who died were referred from other places in critical conditions, so they had multiple organ failures before coming here. So that is an achievement. I've reduced maternal mortality. I've reduced under 5 mortality. I have developed what we call a costing tool for the hospital to determine the prices of things in this hospital. We have also developed what we call an operationalization, financial operationalization software, whereby our budget will be in a software that if you want money, you state where you want the money from, whether you budgeted for it or not. So we control expenditure. I've blocked a lot of leakages. We were spending almost 30,000 a month to repair air conditions in this hospital.
And now?
And now we are paying one man just 1,000 cedis.
So you think
to service all this and to buy minor parts to fix. So we spend less than 5,000 a month in repairing air conditions. That is enormous. All vehicles now have notebooks inside the control books to calculate their mileage and fuel consumption. Procurement of food items to the kitchen, we've reduced it by half. By half, and the records are there.
So where were the monies going at first?
They inflated the prices, and I called the people and abrogated the contracts. All these things, I think, that's why the kitchen staff were protesting. And we have a canteen that is causing a tremendous loss to this hospital that I proposed to outsource. That is what caused the uproar in February, and they went to meet with the minister. That I'm selling the canteen for myself. You have 14 workers in the canteen who, after working for a month, will bring to the hospital 2,000, 3,000 cedis. You can't use it to even pay them. And you have to cough money to pay their salaries. So you do a cost-benefit analysis, you want to outsource it, but because they have relatives who are in TUC, Health Service Workers Union, and journalists, they go and team up and write allegations that are unfounded against you. That is this country. That is the country we are in. That is the rich hospital I want to change. That is what is bringing all these things towards me. But the sad thing is that the minister is relying on weak
Okay, before we go to that, so you think that because you're strict or you've brought some form of discipline, according to what you're saying, that's why you're not being liked, and so people are going behind you to...
That's why I'm not liked by those who want to indulge in that. Not everybody.
Okay.
Many people like me in this hospital.
Okay, so let's go back to the minister, because he said he gave you 3 reasons.
Yes.
And you mentioned weak for...
He gave me one reason that he's going to restructure the hospital in his letter, and gave another reason...
You are not part of the restructure.
Yes, and gave another reason that he's transferring me.
Okay.
So it is that it is not a sack.
Okay.
That is another. He gave another reason that the Buick company indicated that I'm not competent to manage the place, so he should remove me. He also gave reasons that Public Service Commission approving me was not right because I don't have managerial skills.
Let's head to the Western region now. Police in Takwa have arrested 4 suspects for car snatching. The 4 suspects, Godfrey Kwache, aged 42, Samuel Nana Kwache, aged 38, Baba Kankani, 38, and Joseph Osei, 36, were arrested yesterday. Francis Waja joins us on the line with some details. Hello, Francis.
Yeah, hi, Benny.
What can you report on this matter?
Okay, so according to ASP Olivia Irabna Adiku, who is the public relations officer of the Ghana Police Service for the Western region, now these folks hired from a car rental service in Accra a few days back, and the idea was that they were going to have some few runs with a car in Accra, and unfortunately, they left Accra to Takwa to come and sell the car. So a complaint was lodged by this car rental, and so they've been on the quiet monitoring the activities of these individuals to see where they locate them within the country. And luck eluded them yesterday when they found these folks in Takwa trying to sell the car. And if you know Takwa very well, and then its environs, places like Takwa, Bogo, Tuasem, Kwegwa, Wasekopon, these are areas where mining activities are very rife, both large scale and then small scale, and illegal mining. So things like cars really sell very fast. Even in the past, the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority has had cause to worry that several cars come through from Côte d'Ivoire, they abuse the ECOWAS protocols, they bring them there because the market is high, very there for cars, they sell them. So these individuals made an attempt to sell these cars, and unfortunately, police got hint of it, and then all the 4 have been arrested.
And so, Francis, what are the police saying in terms of processing these persons for court?
Well, I spoke to Olivia Irabna not too long ago. What she said was that they've arrested them, they're in police custody in Takwa, and then they will arraign them and process them before court next week.
All right, thank you for the updates. My colleague Francis Water coming to us from the Western region. You're watching JoyNews Desk with me, Benis Abubedi.